Take a slow breath in and out. Let your shoulders drop. Now picture this. Someone on your team keeps missing deadlines, week after week. You notice it, but you don't address it. You compensate. You carry the weight. Until one day, it spills out. This is unacceptable. You've been dropping the ball for weeks, and they look stunned. You never said anything. I thought everything was fine. Pause. Or picture this. A direct report expects a promotion. You've been avoiding the conversation. When it finally happens, you say, "Not this cycle. You need to be more strategic." They hear judgment, not guidance. Here's what's really happening. You're delaying clarity, and delay turns discomfort into damage. Now imagine handling it differently. Week 1, you notice the deadline slip. You don't wait. You schedule the conversation. You start with their name. "Sarah, I want to talk about the API project timeline." Then you use this exact phrase. "You committed to Friday. It came in Monday. What did you hear when we discussed the deadline?" That phrase, "What did you hear?" keeps the conversation open. They explain. Then you say, "Help me understand your thought process. Walk me through what happened." After they speak, you respond, "I can tell this matters to you. Here's my concern." When deliverables slip, it affects team credibility. What I need going forward is this. If a deadline is at risk, tell me 48 hours early. What I can't work with is surprises. Does that work for you? Clear boundary, clear path forward. Now think about the promotion conversation. You begin with, "This is going to be uncomfortable. I've been avoiding it, and that's not fair to you." Then you're direct. "You're not getting promoted this cycle. Here's exactly why." And you define the standard. The role requires strategic stakeholder alignment. What that looks like is leading cross-functional decisions, framing work in business impact, and driving outcomes. Then you give the path. Here are 3 opportunities next quarter where you'll lead stakeholder alignment. We'll do monthly check-ins. We'll review promotion readiness in 6 months. What questions do you have? No guessing, no vague feedback. Now peer conflict. You open with, "I need to address something that happened yesterday." Then you say, "In the stakeholder meeting, you contradicted my recommendation publicly. Did you mean for that to undermine my position?" That phrase, "Did you mean for?" separates intent from impact. They clarify. You respond, "I appreciate that. Here's the impact. Stakeholders now question our alignment. What I need going forward is this. If you disagree, talk to me privately first. Then we present unified. Can we agree on that?" Now, when emotions rise, you say, "I can tell this landed hard. Help me understand your reaction." And you stop talking. When interruptions happen, "I lose my train of thought when I'm interrupted. Let me finish this point." For difficult feedback, you don't label character, you name behavior. Not, "You need to fix your attitude," but, "In yesterday's meeting, you rolled your eyes while I was presenting. Did you mean for that to come across as disrespectful?" Now the setup phrases that change everything. Before the conversation, "I want to make sure I'm focused on what matters. What's one thing I should understand about your perspective?" To schedule, "I'd like to talk about X. When would be a good time for you?" To close, "What did you hear from this conversation? I want to make sure we're aligned." For ongoing issues, "We've talked about this twice. What would need to change for you to meet this expectation?" When you need to be unmistakably clear, "I need you to hear this clearly. If this behavior continues, here's what will happen." Now picture yourself 3 months from now. An issue comes up. You don't avoid it. You say, "I want to talk about what happened in the meeting. When would work for you?" Direct, calm, respectful. And the relationship strengthens. Not because the conversation was easy, but because it was early. Take one slow breath in and out. Avoidance creates crisis. Specific phrases create clarity. and clarity turns difficult conversations into leadership moments.